Okay, week 8, Cincinnati Bengals versus San Francisco 49ers. So the line has San Francisco favored by 5.5. I'm going to take San Francisco, but the one thing I would definitely point out is right now, as I'm doing this show, I see that San Francisco is losing to Minnesota, and I don't really see that changing. So uh, I know that Cincinnati has not exactly been playing very well this year. But that notwithstanding, um, Joe Burrow is certainly a phenomenal quarterback, and as that offense seems to be finding their rhythm a little bit, we'll see if if that team is coming back. We'll see if Joe Burrow is finding that rhythm. So, and then likewise, we'll see if San Francisco has. They've been suffering with some injuries, so we'll see if they're back to full strength. Uh, uh, so again, it just kind of points out some of the parity that is in the NFL. So let's go ahead and check out the numbers. By the numbers, San Francisco has about an 87% chance of winning, which gives them about a 15 point spread. We come over to the box plot, as it's coming showing about 25-6. Again, Cincinnati's been pretty a poor team this year. And remember, this is a head-to-head matchup, so it's really taking where San Francisco is strong pretty much everywhere, uh, and what that matchup, how those numbers reflect against a Cincinnati team that's been poor pretty much across the board. And then when we come over to the confidence interval, and it's showing that there's no ambiguity here. And then the Bayesian is consistent with everything else. But like I said, we also have a San Francisco team that's losing to a what has been a poor Minnesota team thus far. I do think Minnesota should be better than what their record reflects, but that notwithstanding, that is what the right record has reflected. So, and I do think San Francisco is a strong team. It just would be unusual to have a strong team lose back to back like that. So we'll see. Game's not over, but nonetheless, it's not going to be that big of a difference if it turns out that they get the ball back and win. So let's look at the performance charts. The thing that really has got to stand out to you here is Cincinnati can't run the ball at all. Joe Burrow is a fantastic quarterback, but if they're able to put pressure on him and they know that you're not going to run the ball, if their ears back, they're going to rush. Then meanwhile, you got San Francisco. They've got just phenomenal rushing game. I mean, look at that. San Francisco is running the ball in this case more than what Cincinnati is able to pass the ball. And then you take San Francisco running game or passing game, and it's just phenomenal. That's how you get those types of numbers. So it's not difficult to see that. And then we come over here to the right. So San Francisco on the upper right. You definitely see some sacks going on, but it's about the same for both teams. Same with you definitely see some more of the interceptions going on here with Cincinnati. I think that's because Joe Burrow is trying to really push the ball. He tends to push in place where he couldn't. What really stands out at me over here is you see San Francisco just can't apparently hold on to the ball. Definitely a lot of fumbles in that case. And in this case, San Francisco, the, I'm not sure that they're when it comes to how explosive they are. Definitely a lot more than what you see out of Cincinnati. Not as much as what I would expect to see, but I think that's because they're really emphasizing that taking, 10, 12, 15 yards. An explosive play is defined as 20 or more yards. And I think when you're having that level of a excellent running game and then passing, those behind the linebackers, you're not relying on that deep strike necessarily. So anyhow, if you found this helpful, subscribe and like and drop me a note. Thank you.